So, I'd like to know how you guys think that you are going to make us comply with your laws and commands that Pauline went through on the last call. Well, what are you guys going to actually do? How are you going to enforce that stuff? Hey, Eddie, maybe you can answer the question. How are you going to enforce these laws and make people like me comply with them?
You ain't in the same game with me.
How are you going to make me comply with your laws, Eddie? Come on, Negro, I know you can hear me. Pauline keeps telling us that she gives us a command not to come on these calls, but we keep coming back. Apparently we're not complying with your laws. What the fuck makes you think that we're going to comply with anything that you Negroes say? Come on now, folks, don't be shy. Tell me how you're going to enforce them laws. Yep, just the way that you're doing right now. Not going to happen. When's Pauline going to make that Land Rover materialize? She had a big old word salad the other day, and she said that all your conveyances are going to materialize. That Land Rover ain't materialized in 2 years now. Come on, folks. Speak up. Defend your cult leader. Defend her because she's abandoned ship. She's not here tonight. Pauline has abandoned ship. She lost at sea.
Have any of you
Come on now.
seen one single Moorish bank anywhere? Do you really think you print your own money at home?
Well, they do print their money at home, but they know nobody actually goes out and uses it anywhere. How come we don't see anybody trying to use it at Walmart? They got stockpiles of that phony money that they printed up at home, but nobody tries to use it in the real world.
Look at a map, look at a globe. There is no Moorish nation by any name. You don't exist. It's a scam.
This is a cult, but these people are too stupid to realize that.
We tell you to think for yourself and do your own research. Pauline shuts people up who say that. That is the way a cult leader behaves.
So what do you guys think is going to happen to poor little Annie Mae this coming Wednesday when she has her court date for taxes in Flint, Michigan? Is she going to show up in court and do her own court action? What's going to happen with her? You know she's going to get foreclosed on, don't you? She's going to be kicked out on the street. You guys need to help her. Is anybody going to show up in court with Annie Mae?
Anywhere.
Are any of you guys going to show up and help Annie Mae this coming Wednesday? It's Aisha Elbay. I'm sorry, I forgot. Who's going to show up and help Aisha this coming Wednesday? You realize she's an 80-year-old woman that's in jeopardy of losing her domicile, that she might be kicked out on the street. Are you people going to help this woman out?
I guarantee Pauline won't help her when she gets kicked out. She'll just say,
Oh, hell no.
she'll just say,
like
when you fail at your demonstrations, it makes you stronger. But she leaves people out in the wind twist.
No, she'll say that they weren't competent. That they weren't
That too.
they weren't doing it at their level of overstanding. Pauline always comes up with an excuse of why you fail or why she fails.
Pauline
Because you
hasn't
didn't
had a
study.
single success.
Apparently Pauline didn't study enough because she never got her conveyance. I guess that means Pauline's not competent either.
People wake up, it's a scam, it's not real. Delirium cannot be spent because it doesn't exist. It's less usable than Charmin to wipe your butts and less usable than Monopoly money.
I see Empress Karima is on this call. Hey Karima, didn't you try and take over some apartment a while back? You even did a video on it. Are you living in that place now? We never hear about that. Tell us all about that, Karima.
They're all silent because they don't want to hear the truth, because it would mean their lives have been worthless with all of this garbage.
Can you imagine wasting this many years of your life on this bullshit that's never going to work?
Not only
And
never
Pauline's the
going to
biggest.
work, it never has worked.
Maybe I need to pull up my list of Pauline's failures so we can start reviewing.
Preliminary Bay. Preliminary Bay here. Ready to play next is make believe.
Grand Rising. Sakel can be easily helped. Peace and love to all.
You're an idiot.
Well,
Hey,
haven't even
you got your
Barney yet.
pad.
What?
So,
Come again?
shall we start reviewing some of Pauline's list of failures?
Yeah, you took a lot of good notes, huh?
Well, I've been listening to her for a long time, and ain't none of her shit worked. None of her shit worked. So, hey, do you remember when she went to the Nissan dealership and she took her car because the transmission was busted, and she commanded that they fix it for free for her? She never talks about that anymore, does she? Anybody that's followed her for a while knew that the dealership told her to fucking take that car off of their lot. They weren't going to fix it unless she paid for it. Well, what happened with that? I don't understand.
They threw her off of that Land Rover dealership lot.
It's probably scrap metal by now.
Oh, no, that Land Rover is going to materialize in her driveway if you listen to the last call. It's like Star Trek.
Aisha Elbay, Michigan
Oh,
Republic.
Oh my gosh,
God.
Annie Mae's here.
This is going to be
Annie's
too.
here.
Hey, Annie
Annie
Scott,
Mae.
you better go to court next week if you don't want to get foreclosed.
Empress Aisha Elbay. Empress
You
Taylor
don't know
L.
Empress, you're just
Empress,
Also
Empress
known
Taylor
as Annie
L.
Mae Scott.
God. Empress
Also
God.
known as Annie
Taylor
Mae
L.
Scott.
Michigan Republic.
You're going to be a
Empress
cellmate.
God is going to get foreclosed if Empress God does not go to court next week. The
Your
Yep.
day's coming up on Wednesday, Annie Mae.
Territory.
You're going to have a prison number.
Wednesday.
Annie Mae Pauline is not going to bail you out. She's going to give a platitude, an excuse, tell you you weren't good enough when you get foreclosed on. You're going to be homeless. And when you're homeless, we'll be laughing at you for being so stupid and not listening to us, warning you.
Is she stupid or just gullible?
Oh, she's gullible. They're all gullible.
Alzheimer's and dementia
Islam,
combined.
Islam, Grand Rising, Love Living in La Bay at New York Territory.
The same thing.
Very stupid.
They're just marginalized people.
Yeah, a bunch of uneducated, marginalized people that are too stupid to do their own research.
They're knuckle
So, Annie
draggers.
Mae, are you actually going to show up in court on Wednesday?
Come back.
I'll be
Or
there
is,
towards
is Aisha going to show up in court?
Or Taylor.
Yeah, Taylor L. Which one of you is going to show up? Because I want to see your court action.
I'll be there in the court to support you, Annie Mae.
When you start your gibberish, the judge is going to put you in contempt.
Yeah. Hey, Annie Mae, how come none of your people from your peeps there from Michigan are stepping in to support you and saying they'll have your back on Wednesday? I haven't heard not one person. There's several people that are on here from Michigan besides you, but I've never heard one of them step up and say that they're going to help you out.
Nope. And it will be pretty sad.
By the way, in chat, there is a post of a YouTube of a Moor seriously failing. He followed every one of Pauline's steps and failed. Take a look at it.
Come on, Annie Scott.
They're not going
Speak
to listen
up.
to anything we say because they believe Pauline. Pauline is right.
Well,
we're
good
wrong.
on them.
Yeah. It makes us more to have more content to do videos when they fuck up and listen to Pauline.
Fun Sundays.
So come on, Aisha, tell us what you're going to do this coming Wednesday. Are you going to be on Zoom, or are you actually going to show up in court? Or are you just not going to show up at all and let them foreclose on you by default?
And then we'll see who the real Empress God is. It's going to be that judge.
Mm-hmm.
You've been foreclosed and evicted.
I hope you get one of the black women judges because they don't mess around.
Oh, no, they don't. Woo! I know a couple myself.
Well, they'll put her grandmother ass in jail.
Does she even have?
So-
You got any chillin'? You got any chillin', Aisha?
Yeah, Aisha, you never talk about any family. How come your family's not helping you with this?
All her suitors found out she was dumber than a box of rocks, so she didn't have any kids.
I guess so. I see Sarai is on here. Sarai, the one with the mental illness that was talking last week. Did you get back on your meds, Sarai? What was she telling Pauline? I can't remember now. She was telling Pauline how she skipped out on something.
Parole or probation or something, didn't she?
Yeah,
You're supposed to have a medical exam, just like Pauline. Pauline's lucky she lives in Washington.
She's cuckoo for cuckoo pop.
Oh, Sarai's got her picture on her Facebook page in her men's clothing. You know what Muslims do to people like to lesbians like you, Sarai?
You scared her off, she left.
Oh, Sarai is still on the list here. Oh, yeah. Hey, Sarai, you know what? Sarai,
did she abandon ship?
She came back, I think.
Do you know what Muslims do to real lesbians? They toss them off a building. Sal, you want to go? Well, I guess Pauline has abandoned ship. Where is Pauline tonight? Is she abandoned ship?
Doing community service.
No. Raymond's getting ready to take her to the club tonight. Mm-hmm. Can't you see Pauline twerking?
With her greasy face.
Should be twerking right in Taj Tariq's lap.
Now that'll gag a maggot.
I wonder if Pauline's still putting sea salt in her eye. What happened to Pauline's sea salt factory, guys?
What happened? The building on First Avenue has been bulldozed.
Yeah, well, there's a new building sitting there now.
Well, I know it's an apartment building.
I loved how you asked her the other day if to prove that the building was still there. She cut you off quick.
Of course she can't. For one single thing.
Yeah, she would never bother with that because she can't fucking prove it. She won't even talk about it because she can't prove it.
She can't even prove that the vehicle's still on the lot. That's the part.
Vehicle's not on the lot. It was sold.
I know.
Yeah, it sure was. It sure was. And the funny part of that.
Now.
She's that vehicle is a 2019, and I got news for her. It's 2024, so that vehicle is 5 years old. And Land Rovers are big pieces of shit to begin with. They're rolling pieces of junk, like her Nissan Altima. They require a lot of maintenance that Pauline ain't gonna be able to find no mow to maintain.
You know what? I'm gonna be in Seattle in June because I'm leaving out of Seattle to go on an Alaska cruise. I am so rolling by that First Avenue building. I'm gonna take pictures. I'm gonna take pictures of the new apartment complex. And you know what? I might, just for grins and giggles, I might just rent me out an apartment for a month.
32818 First Avenue South.
Yep.
32818 First Avenue South.
I hope you swing by 911 314th place while you're there.
All I know is 314 PL.
It's Federal Way territory.
GPS doesn't recognize 314th place.
It is clear.
Oh, what now? You got something in your mouth, buddy.
Cannot be challenged in any court.
Speak up, brother. We can't. How are you going to enforce those laws that Pauline was spewing out the other day? How are you going to enforce that shit?
natural people.
Well, we know we'll ask Aisha when she gets it foreclosed and the sheriff comes to get her out of the house.
Right?
Next
And
Wednesday,
they are
yep.
the national's heirs of the morale.
Aisha, do you have your shit packed, baby girl?
At the corporate state.
I hope you have your shit packed, Aisha.
Come, making a special appearance under duress and
So,
authorized.
Aisha, how are you going to enforce the laws that Pauline just revised here this past podcast? Oh, there's Stanky Tonis May with his old headdress that ain't never been washed, living in subsidized housing in San Francisco.
Are you getting your costume ready for make believe time?
Tonis May never take his costume off. What you talking about?
It's time to play make believe.
Citizen of the United States or any person.
Yeah, there's one that's just rambling on right now.
Who's rambling? You sound like you got like eating a chicken leg or something.
Any aid, assistance.
Hey, chicken leg man. Hey, chicken leg man.
It shall be
gobble gobble. Gobble gobble. Ain't nobody hear nothing you say, buddy. Get that chicken leg out your mouth.
We can't hear what you're saying, brother. You got marbles in your mouth. You got marbles in your mouth, brother? So, come on, buddy. How are you going to enforce this stuff? I want to know how you're going to enforce the laws and make me comply with the stuff that you're talking about. How are you going to make me comply? Tell me about that.
The system is going to make you comply.
Oh, that's right. I forgot Pauline has a system for everything is a system. Banking is a system.
Facto corporation.
What system are you talking about? You hadn't gotten one thing out of this system.
You considered a delinquent, so they will take you away and process you de facto. But it doesn't mean.
Oh, really? How's that going to happen? Tell me how you're going to do that.
Come back and you finish the job.
Come get me, Negro. Come get me.
Let's see, Sharon Tracy Gilbay and George Anderson L. both have court actions against me. They haven't done jack shit.
The valid international.
I don't speak ghetto. What did he say?
He's saying that Pauline has abandoned ship. That she's run away. It's 5:10 right now.
Yep.
As to the right.
Pauline has abandoned ship again. She's leaving the coast out community service.
So, here's another one of Pauline's failures. Pauline said she was going to organize nationality rallies. Hey, who ever heard of Pauline and her nationality rallies happening? Nobody ever talks about that. Not even Pauline.
She forgot.
I want to see this thing where she's planning on bringing everybody to Federal Way. I can't wait to see that get canceled because they're going to be like, what? No, you didn't buy your ticket. Sorry, you ain't getting on the plane. Or you ain't getting on the bus.
Oh, they're all going to travel for free, remember? That was another one of her promises. Everybody was going to travel on airlines for free.
Or taking over all government buildings.
So much bullshit, so little time.
Hey, Annie Mae, do you remember when Pauline said she was going to have a moratorium on evictions? You ought to look into that, honey. You ought to look into that, honey, because you're going to be evicted here pretty soon.
And why are we still here? We were supposed to be gone in September.
September. That's what Pauline kept saying. The ancestors were telling her September that we were going to be gone.
Wanted to kill her. Dispute what's going on.
What are you mumbling? Talk louder. You're mumbling. Mumble, mumble, mumble.
Does anybody remember when Pauline was going to have Moorish schools? They were going to start building Moorish schools. She had, who was the real estate? Oh, Real Estate Shade was the one. Remember Real Estate Shade coming on, and she was the one that was going to take care of all the buildings and get the Morse schools running. I don't see that.
Or the
happening.
Morse military.
Yeah,
Oh
the
no,
Morse
it was
military.
a peacekeeping force. Remember her peacekeeping uniform?
So we not at war.
We
Yeah.
declare war.
I'm at war. Try to take my house.
We declare
subject-
war.
Yes, the subjects declare war on Pauline.
Ain't no subject.
Does anybody remember when Pauline said she was going to take over Bill Gates' house?
Oh, yeah. How come she never podcasts from anywhere else except for that little ghetto shack, that shit shack in Federal Way? She's never podcasted from anywhere else.
I want to know is why Howard has to broadcast from McDonald's Playland.
That's what we call a pedophile.
Every time Howard is on, he says, well, I'm in a restaurant. Just because he doesn't have any fucking internet service at home. At his apartment. You guys are just a barrel of laughs every fucking call we come on. We only come on to laugh at you people. You're too stupid to understand that we come on to laugh at you people.
Yup. And it's even better when you guys tell your little stories about how you actually went down to the dealership and they said, what they said? They're like, oh, well, we're waiting on, you don't get a seat until we get the funds. And then you just like come back and say, it didn't work. My operating stand didn't work. I got put in jail. That's the funny
You
one.
talk to Angel Bay from New York. Isn't she the idiot who said she just had to write a different check or something?
That she had to give up something.
It was March 20th of this year, and she said she had the process all figured out, and all she had to do was either give them a check or delirium, and that she was going to get her conveyance. And that,
Yeah.
we're
Well,
still
I got it
waiting on
figured out
that.
too. You pay with fiat and you get your car. You pay with delirium and you don't.
Yeah, just like Empress B. Linda. Empress B. Linda got her conveyance.
What's wrong with her? What's wrong with her?
She's got the conveyance process down, yo. Even came on and said, I just bought my new conveyance and I'm driving it.
Well, she didn't pay for delirium with it. Delirium. I call it delirium.
Yeah. No, she didn't. She paid with electronic fiat. Or, as you want to call it, credits. You can call it credits, but it's really still electronic fiat. Because you can't go to an ATM, stick your card in, and it's going to spit out electronic credit. It's going to spit out $20 bills, $50 bills, $100 bill. Well, if you have money in the bank, that is. You got to have money in the bank for that to happen.
Oh, that's the answer.
Oh, and the truth shall set you free, so saith the Lord.
You mean those ATMs don't spit out those bills that have Pauline's face on them?
No, that would be delirium. No, it spits out green
I
credit.
have a question. Why hasn't the Lord struck at Aisha or Annie Mae with a bolt of lightning when she calls herself God?
Did you notice how upset she got when we started asking her questions tonight?
Annie Mae, Aisha states her name and nationality. Annie Mae states her name and nationality.
Annie Mae's gone.
What?
She
By the way,
She didn't say. She
You
was.
can call her. I've got her 810 number. I've got her 810 number if you want. Oh, no, you know what? I take that back. Annie Mae is still on here.
Oh, Annie Mae.
Hello, Annie
You getting
Mae.
ready for court? You getting ready for court, Annie Mae?
Yeah,
What do you do,
who's
Ryan?
going to show up? Annie
I think
Mae,
we all want to
Aisha,
show
or
up.
Taylor?
We'll be there to support you, Annie Mae. Emotional well-being, yep. Her emotional well-being is definitely in question.
Don't forget, Annie Mae, as soon as the lights go on in that courtroom, you have to start your court action.
You'll be foreclosed quicker than the delirium can get rejected from an ATM.
They're going to put her in a padded room.
Mm-hmm. They'll be like, take her to the next courtroom. She can watch from the video.
So who do you think is going to show up, Annie Mae, Aisha, or Taylor?
Oh, I think they'll all three.
In propria persona.
Yes, in propria physicalis.
Annie Mae in all red lowercase.
Oh, she didn't wear the flag around her shoulders? That'll be cool. Walk in here with that stupid flag around your shoulders.
And she's got the worst costume hat of them all. Every time I'm like, what the heck? It looks like a nanny do-rag.
Well,
it's a Kentucky Fried Chicken bucket painted red.
Yes! Yes! Annie Mae has turned her new costume.
Annie Mae's living room looks like a funeral home. Her curtains look like they're from a funeral home.
Aww.
Them curtains will be gone here in about a week or so. Be making room for a new tenant.
You know what they do in Flint? They bring a dumpster and park it in front of your shack, and they haul every bit of crap out and put it in the dumpster and say, well, there it is.
Islam.
I slam.
We say Islam. In Islamville.
And they do that to gods, too.
Amy, do you have family to go to once you get kicked out on the street? I mean, what are you going to do? Are you going to go to the homeless shelter in Flint? Or are your kids going to take you in? Your kids are probably going, oh, hell no.
Her kids are in prison. Her kids are in prison.
Oh, yeah, that's probably true.
Speaking of prison, I want to know what Sorhai went to jail for to get on probation to begin with. I'd love to know that. Sorhai, why do you have law problems?
Sorhai got bigger problems than the law. Sorhai got some mental issues. And Sorhai got some problems with her sexuality. She can't quite figure out what she is.
Speaking of which, where's the grandmammy herself?
She has more dysfunction.
Grandmammy has abandoned ship.
Doing our community service today. She's cleaning toilets at the state park.
Oh, she's probably at the ocean, like she's making her sea salt. She's getting her sea salt haul for the end of the year at the ocean.
And we'll have cakes by the ocean, cakes by the ocean. The quote unquote more that cleans my house, she is more than happy to accept green cash, dollar bills.
I know that's right.
And she does such a good job too. Oh, I love her to death.
Yeah, it's so funny if you actually talk to real black people in the world. They're like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" No clue what you what these people are, who the Moors are. But according to Pauline, everybody knows who the Moors are.
I know. You just have to ask the Southern Poverty Law.
Mm-hmm. Don't you know that we're crying and weeping and sobbing for them to rule the earth again, to govern the world?
They were crying because they tried to.
Oh, poor Pauline.
Delusion.
I finished listening to the call, and she's talking about, she said about conveyances materializing, and she compared it to Star Trek. How they used it. Did you hear that bullshit?
Yes, I did. I was laughing so hard.
I know.
What kind of excuse? She got such like nebulous excuses for stuff, and it's just like, what?
Well, people laugh right now about our vice president and her word salad. Oh my God, Pauline fucking puts her to shame with word salad.
Oh, amen to that.
Two pitiful black women. Pitiful.
Did you say pitiful?
And guess what? Both of them have men they depend on to support them.
Yeah, you got that right. I'll never understand what Pauline's husband sees in her. I mean, he must be so fucking pussy whipped that to put up with her bullshit and nonsense and support her ass. Can you imagine how fucking pussy whipped he is?
That's just crazy. I think about that too, and I'm like, dude, really? Now she's asking you to buy a pricing gun? Because if that was my wife, I'd be like, bitch, go get your debit card. Go get your debit card with me. What if they really did ask you if it was fraud? Yes, codes they ignore them, so that's why I cut it off.
So, you guys that are still up down here, Pauline said recently on one of her calls that robberies have gone down to 0. Did none of you people ever watch the news? None of you morons ever watch the news and see what's going on in the world? Crime is out of control in some places. Seattle is one place that crime is out of control. And Pauline claims that robberies have gone down to 0. What the fuck is wrong with you people?
And you know what we call Chicago? We call it Chirac.
If you 40 people are ruling the world, what are you doing in Israel? You all have got a mess going in the world that you're ruling. You better clean it up.
Mm-hmm. Well, and here's another thing that I noticed, this Pauline's Thursday call, when she took the vote, if you count, there was probably maybe 20 people that voted. I thought she had hundreds of people on her phone calls, even if they didn't show up on the list. There are hundreds and hundreds of people on her calls. Why did only 25, maybe 20 people vote?
Now, are you?
She lied. She's a liar.
Of course, yeah, of course she is.
At 20.
Yeah, that's right. My bad. I forgot. Empress Belinda gets to vote.
All these black boys. One white chick that comes on this call and says, "I got my conveyance, bought a conveyance." So I went out to the dealership. They didn't give me my conveyance.
Well, did you hear on that same call that Angel Bay started questioning about something about Belinda, and Pauline shut her down. Pauline didn't want to talk about it.
Well, what method of exchange did she use for a conveyance? I had to listen to that like 10 times. I was laughing so hard. Point and then argue to say Paulinda. No, we don't put him on. We don't want to put him on the spot. I was like,
Empress B. Linda. Oh, she goes, B. Linda's going to send all her paperwork to Pauline so Pauline can stamp it for her. Well, that's funny. Annie Mae, maybe you can stamp my papers for me.
what's she going to stamp them? Incompetent? Or incontinent?
Mm.
She's going to stamp your papers incontinent. Annie Mae, where's the Queen Mammy?
Well, these people are only hanging on the call thinking that Pauline's going to show up.
Pauline is abandoned here. She's abandoned the cult. Cult members beware. Pauline has abandoned you. I would say somebody give her a call, give Pauline a call, but yeah, that's not going to happen.
Can't nobody give Pauline no call.
I think even Google Doer kicked her off too.
Yeah, when's the last time anybody actually called and talked to Pauline one-on-one? Come on, Aisha, you're pretty tight with her. How come you're not calling her up and talking to her every night about your upcoming court case? We're all looking forward to it, Annie Mae. Can't wait to hear the results see the results on Wednesday.
Annie Mae, speak up.
She can't. Pauline told her not to talk.
Oh, shame on you. Aisha, you're gonna get foreclosed, baby girl. Speaking of real black people, I got one of my new friends. I met her at bingo. She just texted me. She's like, "Are we going to play bingo tonight?"
Do they take delirium at bingo?
Hell no. It is ass over. Cold, hard, green cash. And then when you win a bingo, they come and make you in green cash.
That evil fiat, oh my goodness. And it's funny because Pauline tells them, oh, don't want to use fiat, but every fucking one of them uses it every day.
You know what? It came in kind of mumbled. So there was something that old girl Sharon from Jamaica, Miss Sharon from Jamaica, she was saying when her son asked her to do something, and she was saying something about how she got in the taxi, and she said her little chant thing is.
Something came to her in the taxi.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, no taxi driver that I know, they either you have to prepay, which they're not that sophisticated in Jamaica. And so they got to be paid. She had to have paid cash for that taxi ride. I'm just
She gave him a papaya.
She gave him an all right.
Well,
they trade in chickens in Jamaica. They trade in chickens in Jamaica.
or Sasha paid with a goat.
But a goat is not gold or silver. Unless you give him a gold.
I don't know if anybody else has noticed this. When when Howard talks about Shasha, he calls her Sasha, and a couple of these morons call her Sasha, and they're too stupid to know that she calls herself Shasha because her name is Sharon, and Shasha is a nickname because I used to work with somebody named Sharon. They called her Shasha. It's a nickname for Sharon, but Howard calls her Sasha, and so does some of the other morons.
Well, he's got it about the hair.
Was she from Jamaica?
Who, the one that I knew?
Yeah.
No. It's just a woman, a white woman that was young in the '60s, and they called her Shasha. That's just a nickname for Sharon.
I really don't want to go tonight. Ay. This lady, these little old ladies, you know, like, these little old ladies, they like drag me out too much, and they think I'm just so fun to hang out with.
Guys, I have an idea. We have 23 attendees. Can we read Pauline's failure list?
Yeah, absolutely. I got it right here on my computer.
That would be just a good reminder of her successes, because every demonstration is a success. I forgot.
Oh, of course, yes.
But read it out. It's wonderful to hear them.
The number one failure, it always will be the number one failure, is her failure to occupy the building on First Avenue. Failure to secure the building on First Avenue. She did that. That was supposed to be her sea salt factory. For anybody that's been on here for a while, that building on First Avenue was supposed to be Pauline's sea salt factory, and she went there and did her little demonstration, and then she got arrested, and she's never been back. And then, of course, the Land Rover that she commanded that be delivered right to her house. And that never happened.
Well, that's because she doesn't have a house, yo. Come on.
Well, a domicile. My bad. Well, she had a Nissan Altima that had a bad transmission, and she took it to the Nissan dealership and said she wanted them to repair the transmission for free. Well, they told her that wasn't happening, but she left the car sitting there until the dealership called her up and told her that she better come take it away or they were going to have it towed away. And, of course, Pauline went and picked it up. Number 4, Pauline told everybody that they were going to travel on the airlines for free. Who's done that? Who's traveled on the airlines for free? Nobody. Pauline said they were going to have free cell phone service. She got her own cell phone service cut off. And if you remember recently, she said that they were going to lien, levy, and bond all the different cell phone companies, and you could choose whatever company you wanted to go to. All you had to do was pick what cell phone service you wanted, and you could go there and get your service and a phone for free. She said that everybody was going to have a free domicile. And if anybody that has done any research on Pauline knows that she has a mortgage on her house, and it's in her and her husband's name. They're paying on a mortgage. They pay city taxes. They pay state taxes. Pauline said a long time ago they took a vote on this. They voted to have a moratorium on evictions. That it was illegal. All evictions are illegal according to Pauline. They even voted on it. Number 8, more schools. Empress Sade was going to secure all these buildings, and if they didn't have the building, they were going to build new ones. They were going to build all these schools so that they could school the Moorish children. She said she was going to organize a Moorish peacekeeping force. She even wore her uniform on camera a couple times, and then another time she said she was going to go order her a new uniform online. That never happened. She said that she was going to organize nationality rallies. Maybe that's what she said she's going to have in 2024 was a nationality rally. I don't know, but she picked the date in 24. We'll see what that happens with that. We all know that's not going to happen. She said she was going to have her sea salt factory and it was going to be for mass production. She was going to be doing mass production of sea salt at the building on First Avenue. What does Pauline do? She's going to the ocean and getting a couple of buckets and bringing it home and putting it in a pot on her stove. That doesn't sound like mass production to me. She said she's going to have a constitutional convention in February. I guess that's the same as her nationality rallies. I don't know. Constitutional convention and a nationality rally. That sounds different to me. Merchant cards. Everybody was supposed to get a machine to make merchant cards. How many of you guys have actually gotten a machine to make a merchant card? And how many of you actually have tried to use a merchant card anywhere? And Pauline said that she was going to pick up her free conveyance at the manufacturing plant. She was going to go right to the place where they made the car and pick it up. That ain't going to happen. Didn't happen, not going to happen. Number 15, she said she was going to take over Bill Gates' house. Well, she's still living in Federal Way. She said she was going to order her Sharif uniform online. Talked about that a little bit earlier. She said she was going to buy groceries, and everybody was going to buy groceries using Delarium. Is there one person on here that can tell me that can show a demonstration or a link to a YouTube video where they went to a place to buy groceries and used Delarium? No.
Yes. They could.
I see.
They'd be getting escorted out the building.
Mm-hmm. Well, I see somebody. Yakub Ali says, if you are right, truthful, then why are you here every meeting? Because I want to point out the bullshit and that you people are stupid for listening to Pauline and thinking that anything that she does is ever going to happen. So, Yakubi,
total barrel of laughs.
Yakub Ali, why are you listening to me? You must be listening to me because you wrote in the chat that if I'm right and truthful, then why am I here? So you're listening to me. Why don't you tell us, Yakubi? Tell us about your successful demonstrations. What kind of car did you get? Why can you stop the sun rising? I can't, and neither can you. So anyways, let's proceed with Pauline's failures here. Let's go on with more bullshit from Pauline. Her fiduciary money was actually supposed to be something that everybody printed. She doesn't talk about that anymore. She failed to free Lamont Butler from jail. She actually did her demonstration, and he's out of jail now, but it didn't happen because of Pauline. She failed to get, she had a speeding ticket from a camera that captured her license plate, because Pauline, that's another thing. Pauline has regular old Washington State plates on her car. She even did a demonstration at the post office and videotaped herself because she's too stupid to realize. Videotaped the back of her car that showed her Washington State license plate. How fucking stupid is that? But she had a speeding ticket. She had a speeding ticket from a camera, and she said she was going to get that dismissed. Well, she never said any more about it. Never showed any proof. She just quietly paid it in fiat and never said another word. if you remember, you guys, this past March, she was going to go to the post office and she was going to open up a window at the post office in Federal Way and start operating out of that window at the post office. And she was going to do inventory at the post office. Why have we never seen the inventory that she did at the post office? Because it didn't happen.
Well, she did try, but they wouldn't let her back because she didn't have a postal ID.
I must be pissing somebody off because they keep posting in the chat.
May I interrupt you? Can I interrupt you for just a second?
Yeah,
Lamont Butler is still in prison. He's at the Charles County Jail, and he is still in jail.
Okay, well then I take that back. Thank you.
Right, he was out for a little while, but they snatched his little butt right back up, and he's in jail.
So Yakubi says that we are the sun and we are the tide. Well, you're not a car dealer. Then you should be able to be a car dealer then, Yakubi. Why don't you give yourself a free conveyance? So let's go on here. I'm just about done. Pauline said that she was going to have more babies. That's a knee slapper because thank God Pauline's fucking eggs dried up a long time ago, and her daughter is a lesbian, and thank God she ain't going to reproduce either. And then lastly, and there are many more because I haven't added to this for a while, but Pauline said that everybody's going to have free rides on public transportation, that you could take the bus and you didn't have to pay any fare to ride the bus. Well, I'm sure most of the people on here probably ride the bus. But why hasn't any of them shown a demonstration on YouTube, online, or anything? Why don't you videotape yourself getting on the bus and not paying a fare? So yeah,
trash service. Don't forget about trash.
Well, I can't remember now. What I know she doesn't pay to have trash removed from her house. I think she just says she recycles everything.
Yeah, she goes to the dump by herself.
Yeah, Kobe, you're the one that's blind.
The other thing that we forgot is that she made herself president of the Bank of America and Citibank and Chase, and I checked, and Jamie Dimon and those guys are still sitting in those offices, not Pauline.
Oh, yeah.
That's why she's abandoned ship.
Sorhai's back. Hey, Sorhai girl. You got on your men's clothing tonight, Sorhai? Or is you a woman?
I'm Carol. I'm Steve. I've been a continuous customer for 8 years.
You're a probation officer lately?
Yeah, boy, Yakubi gonna be in trouble because he talking to us, and the almighty cult leader has told him not to talk to us. Look at the chat.
So he's too chicken shit to actually come up and say something. He's got to put it in the chat. I don't see anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, chicken shit, Yakub. Speak up.
Yeah, hey Yakub, look at the video link that I just put in the chat for you. It's just a short that I made today of Pauline. Does it sound like we're crying and weeping and wailing for you to govern? Fuck no.
There's no such thing as make-believe. And that reminds me, if I may, just give a quick little cultural erudition here. I don't know, for those of you, if you've ever been to the UK or Britain, right? And let's say you owe money to a company or something, if you don't pay, they'll take it away. And it's so funny because if you owe money and you get a court judgment, They have the sheriffs that can actually go and take your shit out your house. They'll pay for themselves. And that's why if you don't pay, they'll take it away. Aisha, that's a lesson for you. If you don't pay, they'll take it away.
Yeah. Yeah, Aisha is in for a rude awakening this coming week.
Yep. I've got the Zoom information. We'll be on to support you, madam.
Did you mention Marcel Maddox Bay and what's that other one there in Kansas City that sent mail?
Valerie Barker.
Valerie Barker Bay.
Yeah, I need to add that to my list. Yeah, you guys remember Valerie Barker Bay? She was following Pauline's shit, and then she kind of went off the deep end, and she sent something to the sheriff, some sheriff in, where is she, in Kansas?
No, it was a judge in Kansas City.
She mailed white powder.
Yeah, she sent an envelope with white powder and got her ass put in jail.
Prison.
And what about the squatter Ninty? Is she still in jail?
Yeah, I think Ninty's still in jail.
She's squatting in jail because she's claimed the jail for her domicile.
It's a wonder no one's called Pauline to let her know that we're talking in the chat.
Well, nobody can get a hold of her.
I'm telling you guys, she's doing her community service today. She's cleaning toilets somewhere.
Yeah. Pauline at the club. Pauline busy twerking at the club. What you talk about? And nobody could get a hold of her if they wanted to.
She has no phone.
She's at Popeyes gnawing on them sea legs.
What happened to her IT department? The IT department hasn't been handling the shut up shit lately. Well, I think we done pissed off Yakubu.
Fly the rainbow flag. You know, she should fly the rainbow flag in honor of her daughter.
Yeah, she should.
Peace and love.
Yakubi, you keep posting in the chat. Why don't you post a link to some of your demonstrations, so you can set us straight here. We want to see your demonstrations. We want to see all your successes. Come on now, Yakubi. Yeah, only truth sets in harmony. Yeah, because we're telling the truth, and you don't like the truth. We at war with you. Mm-hmm.
And we telling truth in harmony.
You know what's really funny? What's really funny is Sharon.
I'm just reading the chat. They type in ghetto too. I don't understand what they're typing. What the hell is this?
Let's just call it, his name is Yak. Let's just call it Yak, like Yakov Smirnov.
Okay.
Yakety yak, come back.
Come on now, Yak. Tell us about all your demonstrations, Yak.
Yak, you baller.
What kind of free domicile did you get, and what kind of free conveyance? Let's see your demonstrations. Or do you have a video of you in the grocery store buying free groceries with your delirium?
Or doing court actions and actually working?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, don't say the word work in front of them. It scares them.
Most of Pauline's followers are either on Section 8 or receive welfare.
All of them.
Well, that's just like Tonis Bay. He fucking lives in subsidized housing in San Francisco.
You.
You know, that guy from Toronto never made it back on after he lost all his shit.
Oh, that's right. What
Then
a hell of
Marcel
a
Maddox,
song.
yeah, Marcel Maddox Bay comes back on to ask Pauline for help, and she just fucking blew him away. It's like
How can you all forget that? I mean, how can you people actually listen to her and forget all these things that we're telling you today?
there's thousands of YouTube videos out there of you people failing, and some of you are failing really, really bad, ending up in jail, losing your kids, losing your job, losing your homes, and you still come on and listen to this bitch. And yes, I said bitch because she's a bitch.
She's a bullshitter. She's nothing but bullshit. She's
Yeah.
hot. Everything that she says is hot air. None of the stuff that she does actually works. You can't fucking rewrite history. She says you have to restate everything, and she wants to rewrite history. History is a done deal, man. You can't rewrite it.
Exactly. It's like she claims to be a Moabite. If you know what the Moabites are, they are lighter skinned people from what would be today would be modern Jordan. Okay, the Moors were from Morocco, not Jordan. Totally different area. So there's no way you're descendants of the Moabites or Canaanites either. And she keeps adding and adding and adding.
Pharaohs either.
Yeah. The great pharaohs of Kemet, I've looked into it. They're a family. And if you guys are all, if Pauline claims to be a pharaoh or the descendants of the great pharaohs of Kemet, you guys had to do a lot of inbreeding.
That might be their problem.
Yakubi says, Yak says that the Moors are in their own dimension. Yeah, they're in the fucking Twilight Zone.
And if these people actually knew who the Moors were, they treated black people horribly. And it's crazy. Yeah, there was worse than slaves.
And anybody that thinks they're a god or divinity has mental issues. You are not above anybody else. You don't have different cellular makeup than anybody else. You're just a regular person like anybody else on this planet. You are nothing special. Get over it.
I can donate my blood or my organs to you if we have the same blood type.
Yep.
I can donate my sperm to some of you black empresses.
No, don't! Ooh, no, don't do that. We want their race to stay pure crazy like it is.
Then you also claim to be melanated. Okay, listen to this. Melanin gives me brown eyes, brown hair, and I tan very easily. So think of that there when you claim to be melanated. Okay, I'm white. I have melanin in me. Again, I have brown eyes and brown hair. That's because of melanin, excuse me. A lot of people have melanin in them, some more than others. So stop with the, oh, we're melanated and we're the rule the world and shit like that. No. And you guys don't have any knowledge of the Moorish history whatsoever. I mean, if you watch, you go to
your interview with the Moorish gentleman was wonderful. They should listen to that.
Yeah, I'm going to have another one with him, and I'm trying to get somebody in from the Moorish Science Temple to kind of have a chit-chat. I'm working on doing that.
That'd be a great idea.
Mm-hmm. You know, I've invited Pauline a number of times to come on to one of my live feeds, and she's too chicken shit to do it.
Of course.
Yeah, because she knows I would blow her away with facts.
I think you and
Oh,
Liz G should have Pauline as a guest.
Pauline doesn't like facts. They point out her failures. Pauline
Yeah.
doesn't like to be. So for anybody that's on here that hasn't been on for a while, during COVID, Pauline said that Moors don't get sick from COVID, that it didn't affect them at all. Do you know how many black people passed away? And yes, you folks are black. Whatever you want to say, you're still black. Do you know how many black people passed away? The amount of black folks that passed away from COVID was disproportionately higher than the rest of the population. So I'm sorry to tell you that your DNA and you just have plain old DNA. You have nothing special. You get sick just like anybody else on the planet. And Pauline does too, and you should have witnessed that on her calls. She's always coughing and clearing her voice, and her eye was fucked up. Pauline is just, you guys ain't nobody special. Get over yourselves.
You know,
As
knock
a
on wood,
nurse,
I never
I
had
can tell
COVID.
you, the black population was hit very, very hard.
It sure was.
I think Pauline had a cold. Yeah, she put sea salt in her eyes and sniffed it or something, but she still got a cold earlier in December.
Oh, she's always clearing her voice and coughing.
Help the infection go round. Just a spoonful of sea salt helps the infection go round in the most unpleasant way. In the most unpleasant federal way.
You are a poet, sir.
Can I get an Islam?
Islam.
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 I'm slam.
So let me pull up my list of the people that Pauline's defectors here. All these
Oh,
people
good.
that have
That's
gone away,
great.
or yeah, I've got that here. Some of these, hell, I don't even remember. Remember Chauncey Petit Al? That ring any bells?
Yep.
That's on my list here. Frank, I don't know if you guys know Frank Al is back.
He was my chimney sweep, Chauncey.
Drunk Frank is back. He was just on his last call and he voted, so he must have sobered up. I don't know if anybody else heard him, but girl Frank Raymond Jenkins, that's who he is. Frank L. He was number 2 on my list. Theodore Moses Bay. Remember him? He's the one that used to wear the Pharaoh costume.
Oh, yeah, I remember him.
Yeah. Melo Imrojo. She's the one that wrote the long letter. Melo was like Shasha back in the day. She was right up Pauline's ass for a long time, and Pauline was relying on her for a lot of stuff. And then Melo decided that there was bullshit, and she wrote a big long letter debunking all of Pauline's shit. Maybe I should post that here. I've got that on my computer here. You know what? I have a surprise for you, Yak. I'll post that here in just a minute, and I'll let you read the letter from Melo, if you even know who Melo was. But Jeramore, remember Jeramore? He was on here all the time.
Oh, yeah. Dr. George, or whatever the hell he called himself.
Yeah, from Savannah, Georgia.
He's the one that somebody tried to buy a conveyance from him for delirium, and he's like, nah. And he was like, okay, I'll take half Fiat and half delirium. Which, you know, the funny thing, he sold it for $2,500, and you know what? He took $2,500 and $2,500 delirium.
So, Delilah, Patsy, Al. Delilah used to come
Delilah.
on here all the time. Delilah used to do the prayer. Pauline said that, they were gonna do the same prayer at the beginning of every call, and Delilah was doing the prayer for about as long as a fart in a windstorm, about a month.
Oh, do you have the guy that did the astrological readings every week? He's no longer here, but I don't remember
I
his name.
forgot about him. Yeah, I forgot about him. That's funny. I remember. I do remember that though. No, his name escapes me. I can't remember. Mm-hmm. Maybe it'll come to one of us. Oh, Marcel Maddox Bay. That's on my list here. There was somebody called themselves Queen Al used to come on here. I don't even remember who that was. This one I remember. Joni Al.
Oh, yeah.
Queen L was me.
Oh, was it? I can
couple of times.
I can take that off my list then. Valerie Barker Bay. Who?
Princess Ali.
Oh, yeah, well, I was just getting to her. Yeah. Princess Alessandra Ali. She was from Detroit. Did you know that? Did you know that? Did you know that Aisha, Princess Alessandra Ali, was from Detroit? She used to come on here. And Portia from Detroit, she used to come on here too.
Yeah.
Is
How about Greg?
Spirit Bay on your list?
I believe so.
She was.
You guys are rushing me here.
She interrupted. She's like, my husband's here to take my kid away because, and then she's like, talk to the Congress. And he comes on and he's like, no, the kid's coming with me.
Yeah, Rose Spear Bay's on my list. Remember Rose Spear came out here and talked about her stuff, and she said she thought she was going to get evicted, and she did get evicted, and she's never been back since then.
And she's also the one that went to Costco and actually told the story about how she tried to take her little affidavit into Costco.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Remember that? Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that now, yeah. There was a Shanoon Bay. Shanoon Bay doesn't come out here anymore. Real estate guru Shade, Empress Shade, that's the one that was going to do the Morris schools. Minnie Price Bay. She was from Detroit.
Oh, Minnie. Oh, she was so cute.
Yeah, skinny Minnie Price Bay, yep. Sade Renee Al, we all know her. Does anybody notice Sade hasn't posted a video in like 7 months? She was the one that was going for her daughter has been kidnapped and adopted by somebody else, and she was going to fight every day for her daughter. Well, 7 months gone by. Fight too much.
Well, that, and you're supposed to be in jail.
Well, that's true. Jada Davis Bay. That was a nut job.
Well, there's a piece of work.
Yeah. Rosalind Wyndham on this call? On these calls, I don't remember if she's come back.
No, No.
Well, here's another one. Angela Bay. Not to be confused with Angel Bay. Angela Bay was the one that came on. She was on video camera and she was missing a whole bunch of teeth. Do you guys remember Empress Kenya? Empress Kenya was the finance guru. She was the one that helped create all the delirium. And the last one I have on my list is... that could be. The last one on my list is Brother Aizim. And then remember Brother, what was called? When Pauline... Well, brother, Azim was the one that when Pauline had her Nissan Altima moved to the shop. Azim knew how to fix the transmission for her. Azim don't come on no more.
How about Vizier Chantelli? Chaitali.
Chantelli.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, she's actually kind of recent. You're right about that. I forgot about that. See, I need to revise this. I need to go through this and revise it. So
let's not get out of Ozempic L and Nestor Bay.
No, still in Chlamydia Bay.
How about Flint Gregory and Carolyn?
Oh, Karen Wiggins. They still come on here, I think.
No, it says the name I have on here is Flint Gregory and Carolyn. It just says L-I-N-D, so I don't know what the rest of the name is.
No, that's Carolyn Wiggins, isn't it?
No.
Yes. Gregory's wife. The little monkey.
Yeah, that Gregory posts on Pauline's videos all the time. And all he does is he puts his head up Pauline's ass. He loves Islam, hard, kind of bullshit.
Yeah, I'm looking for my list of names.
I'm trying to find. I hope that it's Yak is still on here. Yeah, there's Yak right there. Hey, Yak, you just hang in there because I'm going to post the what made the letter that Mela wrote on Facebook.
Yeah, I have that saved somewhere too.
Yeah, I actually went and retyped. I restated it.
I was the one that found that. Then it's one of y'all.
We saw it on Facebook the day she posted it.
Did you mention Geomore?
Yep.
Oh yeah, no, I could never forget Geomore.
Yeah. I have his phone number, but phone number's been disconnected.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them that phone numbers are disconnected now.
Yeah, and he's the regional consul post for the Moorish American Consulate. There's another thing that is down. The Moorish American Consulate website has been down for quite a while. And Pauline is part of that.
Well, that's because Ravenette isn't relieved for IT duties. She'd be keeping that website up if she was still there.
What happened to Sharon keeping it up? I thought Sharon would keep it up.
Oh, okay. You know what? I found this other failure on here that I didn't talk about. December 9th of 2021, Pauline said that all subjects have 1 year to get in alignment with Moors, and it wasn't optional. That was how many years ago? That's 2021. 2, 3, 4, so that's 3 years ago, Pauline, that we had to get in alignment. It would be 2 years now. That we were getting in alignment with Moors. Well, what the fuck? I'm not in alignment. I don't know about any of you.
Never.
Nope.
All right. I'm gonna go play some more bingo. I hope you win loud. I hope you win loud deliriums. I'm gonna take some more from other dollars they got.
Now,
You know, just in case any of you people believe Paul,
Yeah, the Wicked Witch showed up and she's...
Goodbye.